So, have you ever taken a really hard look around, at the people closest to you
hmm
and just sort of wondered how they're shaping the person you're actually becoming?
It's a big thought, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Mhm.
A really thought-provoking idea. We've all heard those sayings, right? You are who you surround yourself with.
And that other one, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Exactly. So today, that's precisely what we're going to dive deep into.
Okay.
Our mission here really is to understand the powerful ways your inner circle, those close people, influence your mindset, how they fuel your growth, and ultimately how they kind of mold your life's path.
Yeah. Let's get into it.
Ah,
It's a concept that's, well, it's easy to overlook, I think, in our busy lives.
definitely.
But when you really stop and give it some thought, its impact is just uh, undeniable.
Right.
Think of your close network like a personalized curriculum,
Yeah.
always reinforcing certain beliefs, certain behaviors.
A personalized curriculum. I like that.
Yeah. And the real question you need to ask yourself is, are you consciously choosing what that curriculum teaches you?
That's such a great way to frame it. And it really hits home when you think about how our immediate environment acts like a mirror.
A mirror. How so?
Well, it reflects back the dominant attitudes, the energy that's just sort of there
Uh-huh.
around you.
I see. So if that energy is consistently negative, maybe full of complaints or just stagnation.
Exactly. It can feel like it just seeps into your own mindset, almost like a subtle kind of negative osmosis.
Osmosis, yeah, that's a vivid way to put it. And it really resonates, I think, with a lot of people's experiences. We've probably all seen potential get stifled that way.
For sure.
Think about someone really creative maybe,
Yeah.
or someone with great entrepreneurial ideas,
Uh-huh.
but they're constantly surrounded by skepticism or just discouragement.
Yeah.
Over time, their own belief, their confidence in their own abilities, it can just start to erode.
It really can. And societal expectations probably play into that too, right? Like, be realistic.
Oh, absolutely. That external pressure combined with a negative immediate circle, that can be a powerful 1-2 punch.
Totally. I actually remember this friend from high school. Incredibly talented, amazing voice, loved singing.
Okay.
But her friends, they constantly dismissed it. Pipe dream, get something practical, the drill. And slowly, you just saw her confidence just kind of wither away. It
Wow.
was such a clear example for me of how those daily interactions, they don't just shape your mood, they shape your fundamental beliefs about what's even possible for you.
Precisely.
Mm.
And if your regular conversations are always with people highlighting the obstacles, always expressing that fear of failure,
Yeah, it's hard.
it can be a real uphill battle to cultivate what we call a growth mindset.
Right, the idea that you can actually develop your abilities.
Exactly. That belief that intelligence and skills aren't fixed. You can develop them through, dedication and hard work.
Mm-hmm.
Conversely, being in an environment where people see challenges as like learning opportunities,
Mm-hmm.
where they believe in always improving, that can be incredibly energizing.
Oh, it's truly transformative. I remember when I joined this entrepreneurship club back in the day, I wasn't even sure what I wanted to do business-wise, but just being around all these driven people, launching things, always reading, learning, buzzing with ideas.
Yeah, that energy.
It completely shifted my perspective. I thought, okay, wow, I need to step up my game, think bigger. That positive environment just fundamentally changed my ambition.
And what's interesting, too, is the neurological side of this.
How so?
Well, our brains aren't fixed, right?
Hmm.
They actually form new connections based on our experiences, our interactions. It's called neuroplasticity.
Neuroplasticity, right?
So consistent exposure to certain kinds of people can literally change how you think.
Wow.
If you're always around skilled problem solvers, your own brain gets better at seeing solutions. If you're around visionaries, you start thinking bigger, more future-focused yourself.
It even filters down into the seemingly small stuff, doesn't it?
Like what?
Like just the topics of casual conversation? Is it mostly gossip and complaining?
Or is it ideas, interesting books, future plans?
Exactly. Those small, consistent interactions, they really add up. They shape our whole mental landscape.
Mhm.
Okay, so we get the power of the environment. But what if you realize your current circle maybe isn't the best for your growth?
Right. That's where this idea comes in, this concept of intentionally shaping your environment, what people often call upgrading your circle.
Grading your circle, yeah.
And it's really important to be clear here. Upgrading doesn't mean, drastically cutting everyone off tomorrow.
Right, it's not about being ruthless.
No, not at all. It's more about conscious intention. It's about deliberately choosing to focus your time and energy on people who inspire you,
Okay.
people who challenge you constructively, and who genuinely align with the person you're trying to become.
I like that emphasis on conscious intention. It makes it feel less harsh, more mindful.
Exactly. Like a mindful approach to relationships.
Yeah.
You wouldn't just eat anything if you're trying to be healthy, right?
No, you'd choose nourishing food.
Precisely. It's the same idea with the people you surround yourself with. You need to be deliberate about who gets a significant chunk of your time and attention.
So how does that look practically?
Well, it can manifest in different ways. For some people, it might mean actively looking for a mentor.
Someone who's achieved what you aspire to.
Yeah, exactly. Or for others, maybe it's joining a specific community or a mastermind group.
Ah, mastermind groups. That's a concept I find really compelling.
It was powerful. Comes from Napoleon Hill, right? Think and Grow Rich.
That's the one. He talked about this third mind.
Yeah, this idea that when two or more people collaborate harmoniously on a specific goal, they create something greater.
Like a collective intelligence.
Exactly. Synergy. It accelerates growth, helps solve problems much faster than you could alone.
And you see this play out historically, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. What's fascinating is seeing this principle pop up again and again, like the Inklings.
At Oxford, with C.S. Lewis and Tolkien.
That's them. Just an informal group, meeting in a pub, sharing their writing, giving feedback.
Fueling each other's creativity.
Totally. And look what came out of it. Some of the most beloved fantasy literature ever written. Imagine the energy in those pub sessions.
Seriously. It really shows how a supportive, stimulating circle can just foster incredible breakthroughs. And it's not just in writing or the arts, is it?
Not at all. You see this pattern everywhere. Think about early Apple.
Jobs and Wozniak.
Yeah, that dynamic.
Yeah.
Jobs' vision, Wozniak's technical genius, pushing each other.
Right, pushing the boundaries of what was possible then.
Or even in sports. Serena and Venus Williams.
Oh, good example.
Yeah.
That intense competition, but also that deep mutual support.
Undoubtedly played a huge role in their, unprecedented success.
So the big takeaway here seems to be prioritizing quality over quantity.
Absolutely. A few truly impactful people who genuinely support and challenge you. That's way more valuable than a huge network where the connections are shallow or maybe even kind of detrimental.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now, I think it's really helpful to look at some specific, famous examples of people who consciously built strong circles.
Definitely. And one story that always comes to mind that's really inspiring is Oprah Winfrey's.
Right. She faced incredible challenges early on.
Huge challenges.
Yeah.
But she actively, intentionally sought out mentors. She cultivated relationships with people who saw her potential.
Even when maybe she doubted herself sometimes.
Exactly. And she's been very open about that.
And she specifically mentioned Maya Angelou, didn't she, as a profound influence?
Yes, a guiding force, encouraging her to use her platform for, a greater purpose.
That mentorship clearly shaped her massive impact. It's powerful.
Another really compelling example, maybe a bit different, is the PayPal mafia.
Ah, yeah. The early founders and employees of PayPal.
Right. After PayPal was acquired, this group didn't just drift apart. They went on to found or fund other huge tech companies.
Like Tesla, LinkedIn, YouTube. Amazing list.
It is. And their ongoing connections, that mutual support, it clearly created this powerful engine for innovation and more success.
It's fascinating how that shared early experience, maybe the adversity and the success, forged such strong
It
bonds.
seems like it. They kept elevating each other.
Okay, so we have Oprah, the PayPal mafia. What about someone like Michelle Obama?
Yeah, another great example. She's talked about her kitchen cabinet.
Her close group of female friends and her mother, right?
Exactly. And what's really interesting there is the dual role they played.
Dual role.
Well, yes, they offered that unwavering support during the intense pressure of being First Lady, understanding like few others could.
Sure, that makes sense.
But they also kept her grounded, reminded her of her core values, who she was beyond that public role.
Ah, so they lifted her up and kept her anchored.
Precisely. It highlights how important it is to have people who do both.
These examples really drive home the point that building this kind of robust, supportive circle, it's not passive.
Not at all. It takes proactive effort. It takes intention. Sometimes it even takes a bit of courage, right, to seek out those connections.
Definitely. Which brings us to something really practical, something you, listening, can actually do.
Yes. This idea of auditing your current influences.
Auditing. Okay, tell us about that.
Well, first off, this isn't about judging the people in your life. Let's be clear on that.
Okay, not judging.
No, it's about an honest self-assessment. looking at the impact these people have on you.
So step 1.
Identify the 5 people you currently spend the most time with. Could be friends, family, partner, even close colleagues. Your top 5 influencers, basically.
Okay, got my 5 in mind. Then what?
Then you ask yourself some tough, probing questions about their influence.
Like,
do they genuinely inspire you? Do they actively encourage your goals, your aspirations? How do you usually feel after you interact with them?
energized, motivated, or...
Or drained? Maybe a bit negative? Be honest with yourself.
Right. And Jim Rohn, who we mentioned earlier with the average of 5 quote.
Yeah. He also suggested paying attention to their habits, their mindset, even things like their income level or health.
But again, not judgmentally.
Not at all. It's not about comparing in a critical way. It's about understanding the overall environment you're swimming in. Does it align with where you want to go?
I actually went through this myself a while back.
Oh, yeah. How'd that go?
It was revealing. I realized I had this one friend, cared about them deeply, but wow, the interactions were consistently negative. Lots of complaining.
Mm-hmm.
Common scenario.
And it wasn't about, like, ending the friendship entirely, but I consciously started setting some boundaries.
Okay.
Less time together, maybe, and prioritizing time with people who were more focused on growth, had that more positive outlook. That's a perfect example of putting this into practice. It's like decluttering your house.
Decluttering your house.
Yeah, you're not throwing everything out, but you're making conscious choices about what gets to stay, what contributes to your overall well-being and the atmosphere you want.
Making space for what serves you. I like that.
And the really cool thing is, as you get more intentional about this, about curating your circle,
Yeah.
you often kickstart this positive feedback loop. Upgrading your circle tends to attract more positive, supportive people into your life.
Really? How does that work?
Well, it feels like attracts like, you know?
Right.
When you clearly commit to your own growth and you surround yourself with others doing the same, you just become more visible to other like-minded people.
You start finding them more easily.
Yeah, maybe at workshops or through shared interests, maybe even through friends of friends. It's like your intentionality opens up new pathways for connection.
That's really encouraging. Okay, so as we start to wrap up this deep dive, we've really dug into this profound, maybe underestimated impact our closest relationships have on our growth, our future.
Absolutely. We looked at how our environment is this constant influence shaping our mindset.
Right, and why intentionally upgrading that circle is such a vital step.
And hopefully, this conversation has shown the real tangible value in actually doing that audit, taking that honest look.
Yeah, I hope so too.
And those stories, Oprah, the PayPal Mafia, Michelle Obama, they just powerfully illustrate the potential, don't they? The transformation that can happen when you surround yourself with the right people.
Definitely.
And what's really empowering, I think, is recognizing, okay, maybe you didn't choose your starting point.
Right, we don't control that.
But you absolutely have the power, the agency to choose your direction. And crucially, who you choose to walk alongside you on that journey.
Well said. So here's a challenge, maybe. A direct action for you listening this week.
Okay, let's hear it.
Just dedicate 10 minutes. That's it.
Yeah.
10 minutes to really thoughtfully consider your 5 closest influences. Ask yourself those key questions. Are they helping you become the person you want to be?
And then?
Then take one concrete step. Just one. Maybe it's reaching out to someone you admire. Maybe finding a group or community online or locally that fits your interests.
Or maybe just having an honest conversation with someone already in your circle about the kind of support you need.
Exactly. Just one intentional act.
Because that single act can ripple outwards. It can have effects you don't even anticipate.
Yeah.
Remember, your current circle is shaping your future right now, whether you're consciously thinking about it or not.
So choose wisely.
Choose wisely. Nurture those connections that lift you up. And give yourself that chance to grow alongside people who genuinely believe in your potential.
Couldn't have said it better. That quote really sums it up, doesn't it? You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Choose your circle wisely.